up, everybody? Welcome to Week 9 podcast. We have Sam, as always, and Rob. How's it going, Rob?
Yeah, tolerable.
Tolerable? All right. Yeah. How are you doing in fantasy, Rob?
Shitty.
and we'll get to your game here. Hey, let's take a look at the standings real quick. Let's look at Conference One here. SmackDown Hotel and El Oso has a tied record right there, and SmackDown Hotel is on a 5-game winning streak. And look at the other division, the Bag and the Bat, 6-3, and Ninja Assassin is also 6-3. So it's still anybody's race over here, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anybody but mine.
Yeah, Gangrene bringing up with 2-7 there at the bottom. Of course, the Fat Wagon's 1-8. You know, so you got that.
Yeah. You know, Dave's always been one of my most loyal friends. I appreciate him taking a beating for me this year to make me look just slightly better.
Yep.
I'm coming for you, Kelly Knights. I'm coming for you, baby. I'm only 87 points down, man. I'm crawling out of the cellar.
Let's take a look at Conference 2. High Rollers, Straight LA. I mean, the Conference 2 Fire Division. It's still open. I mean, it's anybody's game still there on on the Fire Division, right, Rob?
Yeah, and High Rollers, man. I mean, he kind of comes out of that this week with, it gets his third in a row, but I mean, that was quite a comeback there. So good for him. Straight LA hanging in there. Lost this week, and Hard Foundation, yeah, it's just. Yeah, I still say this division doesn't score enough points to matter. But we'll see. I'm sure that High Roller, Straight LA, the Hard Foundation, New Denver all think they matter. And they do matter. They're some of God's creatures, and we love them very much.
Yep, and Water Division, the Sabs is still just, Sabs is, man, he's just doing very well this season.
That's unique for him.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say the wild card will come from the Fire Division. You know,
dude, he's got a 275 point lead on Todd for second, man. 3 games and 275 points, which is almost like a 5-game lead at this point, right?
Yeah. So Sav's doing very well. So let's go ahead. Well, it's still too early to talk about scenarios, so we'll wait on that for a little bit. Let's take a look at the first game. Let's talk about my game real quick. Ninja Assassin versus Team Revis. I was, Thursday night with Buffalo give me a -9. I was in the hole already. It wasn't looking good, but come Monday night, I had a few people going. Stafford. Who else did I have going Monday night? It was and Randall Cobb, right? And he only had Jordy Nelson, and just down by 20, and I made it up. Jordy Nelson scored a few, but it wasn't enough for my stupid Buffalo Bills defense. And Team Revis did it all well, straight up and down for him too. He had Adrian Peterson and he had DeAndre Hopkins going, same as I have. But besides that, I mean, it was all right performance. I mean, I'm not gonna brag about Team Revis right now if I'd had the right defense in, but
all right. Again, it's another one of those 104, 103 games, so you're allowed to talk slightly longer than you did about your 72-68 game. But it's one thing about this game, and this is not mine, but I heard a guy on the radio the other day use this name. He's from the Detroit Free Press or something like that, and he used the nickname Pad Statford. And, Sam, your game isn't that close if Pad Statford isn't still throwing inexplicably in the fourth quarter in a game that was over after 5 minutes into it,
Yeah, why was he still throwing? Why was
because apparently he loves to pad his stats, and, you look at it, and I'm like, I really need to go back and look at that because I don't watch a lot of Detroit Lions football. I don't even watch their shit on, Thanksgiving morning. That's when I, go, run errands, go get the beer and the ice for the day, so I can watch the Cowboys. And how come the Cowboys and Lions don't just play on Thanksgiving and take us all out of our misery? Somebody explain this to me. It's coming soon. But it was a bad week for you. Revis got a good win on. Devontae Freeman, dude, he just continues to do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
And had possibly the Oilers just practiced a little earlier in the day on Thursday, you might have had a shot there with another quarterback, right? Because You're having some love in that area this year, aren't you, brother?
Yep. Rogers and now Deshaun Watson. So, anyways, yeah,
Did you lose anybody else? You
uh,
lost.
no, that was
You
it.
lost one other player.
No, I lost
Right.
Aaron Rodgers and then Deshaun Watson. But
Well, I just say that's enough, right?
yeah, that's just bad luck total. But no, congrats, Team Revis, for that. For that 1 point win. I was hoping for a stat correction. Any time. But yeah, let's go. Let's go on to
we don't get to say that name. Hold on, Sam. I'm not done with this game. Damn it. We don't get to say the name Giorgio Tavecchio enough. So Giorgio Tavecchio. Okay, next.
There you go. Place kicker. Let's go to the High Rollers versus Fat Wagon. Now, Rob, I gotta feel bad for Fat Wagon. I mean, 151 is pretty decent points.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Man.
And then just to lose to High Rollers, I mean, just
Marvin Jones, baby. Marvin Jones, dude, that's a nice pickup for him, and I think Elo Silverde's got it too. That guy, he had a nice game. Again, thank you, Pat Stafford, because he was the beneficiary of one of those late touchdowns, right?
Yep. He got two.
And that's the difference.
I think he got 2 touchdowns. So what do you think about Ezekiel Elliott here for High Rollers? Do we know he's out yet this weekend?
I've given up. This has got to be the most tedious story in the entire history of the NFL since the last tedious story and the next tedious story.
Was that not crazy? I think he was activated the day before. Is that right? He was activated on a Saturday?
No, it was on Friday morning. You know what the NFLPA has gotten very smart though in that they have they're filing these whatever it is you call them requests for stay or injunction. I don't know. We're all getting too damn smart at like boring ass legalese, right? But they're filing it at the last possible second where they basically know the court will not have a chance to really truly make an informed decision. So, and then of course they hold it over to the next Thursday. So I don't know, man. I'm so sick of it. And if the guy's going to get suspended, he's going to get suspended. I get where they're coming from a little bit, but I've made my point on that. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. It's like one guy out of like 2,000, and it's just awful.
Yeah.
Dude, is there anything that social media hasn't ruined?
Nah.
It's like
I'm not on it.
I'm
not on social media. I don't have any Facebook. I don't have any Twitter. I don't have anything like that. Let's go to Fat Wagon real quick. T.Y. Hilton had a monster game finally. Game for Dave. C.G. Anderson, look, be a Broncos fan. Don't start any Broncos player. I mean, it's so tough being a Broncos fan right now. I'm screaming at the TV. Telling them what to do, it's just,
man, it's, hey, how about Julio Jones in that drop, though, and he wins that game if he doesn't drop that ball by a wide margin, man.
Wow, you're right.
4 more yards, it's 8-20, and Ryan picks up, God knows, another 10, 30. I mean, he gets that one in there. He's probably pushing 185, 190, man. I mean, and Julio, there wasn't anybody for like 25 yards, dude. That's just the kind of season he's had, man.
Yeah, that's really so. Congrats, high rollers, Fat Wagon.
3 in a row, man. 3 in a row.
Yeah. Let's go to the next matchup. Straight LA versus SmackDown. Now, I see Straight LA starting lineup. I mean, he had some buys, obviously. 64 points to 142. I mean, it is tough. The bye weeks, injuries, or whatever. Not much you can do about it.
Well, I'm sure he's coming from the exact same philosophy as I do. We share a lot of the same players, specifically wide receiver, and we just happen to have 3 guys on receiver this week, and he's in the thick of it. And I really just don't think he's going to be, putting Antonio Brown or what's his name, Brandon Cooks out there for anybody to get in a cross division game. I mean, I've always kind of been in a theory. I've said this any number of times that, dude, I wish I could have everybody on bye in the same week and just take my 1 loss for the year. I mean, I wish I could just get 1 loss. And then have that advantage on everybody the rest of the way. But, I mean, I can tell you, in my game, he had 1 more functional player going than I did, and they weren't too functional. A.J. Green went ahead and took care of that early, got himself out of the game. But, I wasn't throwing out any players I'm in a different situation, but I wasn't throwing any players out there to my division or conference mates to go ahead and make their team stronger. and he's probably in the same boat. There wasn't much that was going to help him against SmackDown Hotel this week. So take your loss, move on for next week, man, right?
Yeah, now let's talk about AJ Green for 1 second. I mean, chokehold is one thing, but then you're going to throw a punch at his helmet? Come on. Yeah. I mean, AJ, your hand is your asset. You know, I mean, you're going to punch somebody in the helmet. You're only hurting yourself. You know, I just don't understand why people would punch somebody with in the helmet. It's weird.
They need to in the NFL start doing like in hockey where the guys drop the gloves, man. They need to start just like dropping the helmets, when they go at it out.
Hey, that would make things. Can you imagine, Rob, a receiver wanting to fight a lineman like that? That'd be crazy.
Well, it's kind of like if I'm hanging out with, like, let's say Mark and Big Dave. I feel like I can run my mouth out in public a little bit more, right? Because I'm feeling safe, and he's got lots of big linemen around him, right?
Yeah. So, but now, Rob, you said you wanted to be like hockey. Now, hockey, they'll let them go 1-on-1. But I'm saying if we incorporate that rule into NFL, I would like to see it go 1-on-1 and just let them fight, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Get him right out there if it's in Dallas, put him out there on the Star. Why not? I mean, God knows we got enough dead time in the NFL now anyway. Just have him do this. Have him time it perfectly to when we go to another godforsaken, tedious review over a half yard on a second down play, okay, that takes like 4 minutes. Let's do that.
Yeah, great. Let's talk about SmackDown real quick. Carson Wentz, I mean, he's looking really good this year. And Todd Gurley, who I hate because he ruined my season last year, he's doing well this year.
Don't let it go. Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris with the Leonard Fournette late scratch Saturday morning. Alfred Morris, baby.
Yeah. And I want to shout out to Tay for texting me early that morning to tell me about Fournette. So big shout out to Tay for.
So now we know your secrets, how you managed to stay punctual.
Well, I was dead asleep. I was like dead asleep because I don't wake up until the morning game starts, So Tay sent me a text. So big thanks to him. But yeah, great job SmackDown, and he's coming up in that division, and it's good. 142-64.
Sam, I'd be remiss if we left this game without me pointing out again that Amari Cooper still sucks. That one game aberration where he was pretty good. And,
one game.
I swear to God, I mean, I think he had 5 drop passes, and then, what's his name, Michael Crabtree got in on the action. They should be really happy they got that tight end from Green Bay because, I mean, Crabtree's getting old, and Cooper, dude, I hate the Raiders, but, dude, I don't get this guy. I hate Alabama, too. I hate everything about Alabama. Let me just say that. If you know me, you know I hate Alabama. So, and I'm not talking a football team. I'm talking the whole state. Amari Cooper, kiss my ass, dude.
Yeah. So
moving on.
Let's go to Savs versus the Bag of the Bat. Now this had complication. No, not a complication, but this. I mean, if the Bag of the Bat would have won, it would have put me in a bad situation. So Savs showed up again. Wins. Todd Gurley, just like we spoke before. And hey, KC fan, what's up with Kareem Hunt? He's just going on the downhill here, Rob.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to point out that Savs and the Bag of the Bat were burning up my text this weekend, talking about how they were worried about the impact of their game on your standings, Sam. So I'm glad that it worked out okay for you. But I mean, seriously, I don't have a data limit, but man, it was pushing it, man. So Kareem Hunt, Kansas City in general, I mean, you got to keep in mind, first of all, I'm not too worried about them, but they've lost 3 or 4 now, and, that's a brutal stretch they've had, man. I mean, anytime you go, I know a couple of the names aren't going to stand out that much, but Pittsburgh and then Oakland on the road, and then you come home and you play Denver, and then you go back on the road to play Dallas. I mean, that's a run, dude.
They had a really good shot at beating Dallas, too. Real good shot.
Until the judge decided Ezekiel was going to play, and then it was kind of out the window. I didn't, they played pretty well in that game in the first half, and they just, dude, I don't know, man. They're the Chiefs. Yay! I mean, let's see whether maybe they'll win a playoff game for the first time in like 30 years. So, all right, Yeah. So anyway, Sam, moving on. Yeah, Sabs, man, kicked his ass.
Yeah.
148, 119.
Yeah. Yep. And Tay flexed the defense, which is rare these days to see somebody flex the defense. But yeah, no, it's all right. So I mean, it kept. So Sabs, thanks for winning. So it keeps me and Tay closer together there.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of Houston Oilers playing in this game for there to be this much. Houston Texans playing in this game for the score to be this high. But yeah, Jacksonville, man, that defense is they can be for real, man.
Yeah, I wish I would have started that defense.
Yeah, well, yeah.
let's go to an exciting game. Raunchy Nuggets versus New Denver, 105-105. Now there was some chatter in our little chat box there, huh, Rob, about this matchup.
Well, yeah, they're just saying, hey, is this got to be a tie or not? And the answer, and Michael basically answered it straight up. The way the tie goes is I have to go in after everything's done and force a tiebreaker, which is it gives you a bubble option of do I want it to be high rollers or do I want it, or not high rollers, do I want it to be Raunchy Nuggets or do I want it to be Don, And yeah, I just kind of, you're the one that kind of convinced me, just kind of let it play out there, even though there was nothing that was going to move the needle on that game. So Raunchy Nuggets wins it on a 33-yard, I think it was a receiving touchdown, wasn't it, to Alvin Kamara?
Yeah. Kamara went. So, and
they had a lot of the same players out there that were pushing scores. So, but that's Alvin Kamara, man, Rookie of the Year. I mean, one game keeps Raunchy Nuggets relevant.
Yeah, I mean, because Kareem Hunt's on the downhill now. Deshaun Watson out, so we are looking for a new Rookie of the Year candidate.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, Deshaun Watson played mighty good for 6 games.
Yeah, and of course Mike Evans. Mike Evans is suspended for 1 game for Scott.
God, dude, Tampa Bay, man. Man, anybody that invested in them, ding, 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 gangrene, and bought into the hype, man.
Did you watch HBO's what's it called again? That show?
Every minute of every episode.
You watched that because it was Tampa. I said I was not watching it this year because I watched it last year and it influenced me to get Todd Gurley. So I said,
totally, dude. I bought into the hype. I won't deny it, man. I was like, Jameis Winston looks like he's mature.
Thank you. I did not watch one episode of that this year.
Oh, man, it's like, they have a guy on their team, though, that Gerald McCoy. He's quite an entertaining character out there, man. He's a defensive line. But it was good. I mean, it's kind of a fun show. That team was kind of a fun show this year. But, I bought into the hype. Yeah, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Apparently, I got to share this one. He gave a speech before the game, and they were playing this on the Dan Patrick the other day. And if you watch the show, he does their big, the circle hype, blah blah blah. But he actually yelled out,
"Winston,
we're gonna eat a W. Who here wants to eat a W today? We are the celery, and they are the ranch dressing." I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah. So he licks his fingers, right? He licks and sucks his fingers, and then makes a W, like the West Coast sign.
You know what? I only heard the audio.
No.
Was that what it was?
He starts licking his fingers, and then
oh my God!
And then the very last finger he pulls out of his mouth. He makes his hand into a West Coast sign with the W.
Okay. So, dude, see, this is how badly I got duped. I mean, isn't he eating? The whole thing's just awful. And then, of course, we would be remiss. It's twice I've used that phrase if we didn't bring up Cam Newton, who at his press conference, when asked about the wide receiver, Kelvin Benjamin moving on, he said, he's a tough player, good friend, and everything, but we got to move on, just like the Titanic.
Titanic's got to go.
These things are real, dude. These are real comments from these guys, man.
Yeah.
It's like.
Titanic's gonna go and sink. Titanic's gonna sink. Okay.
So I think he's somewhat right. It takes me back to when Richie Incognito was getting busted and for the bullying or everything. They had some footage of him in a pool room one time, and this guy, I'm just like, dude, this is the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever seen on the face of the planet. And these guys, they're loaded, dude. So
they're not scholars, Rob, okay? They're not scholars, all right?
Yeah, but I mean, they don't. I mean, I can deal with. I mean, it's like the Titanic, Sam.
Yeah.
What do they say? It's a rise like the Hindenburg. Oh man.
All right, but hey, congrats to Ranchi Nuggets for winning a tiebreaker. If you know Scott in the past, he's been burned by tiebreakers before, championship game. So.
Oh God, he let everybody know about it. Yeah, I mean, it was like 12 years ago. All right.
All right, let's go on to the next matchup: El Oso Verde versus Heart Foundation. 110
he should
to
not
48.
have dropped the Falcons. He should not have dropped or whoever it was, and picked up the Seahawks in a game that they had no. It was I can't remember what now. Anyway, what do you got?
El Oso Verde versus Heart Foundation. Now, El Oso didn't have a defense.
He chose not to start a defense. As we've pointed out there a million times, you are not required to start anybody if you don't want. I mean, I'm going to try to contact you and make you start it, but he did not like the Chiefs against the Cowboys, justifiably so. And I forget Minnesota was on bye, so we put it out there. You are not required to start a defense.
Yep.
And I think a pretty sad play. He didn't end up losing any points.
Yep. I mean, Doug Martin obviously.
That wasn't going to hurt him.
No.
But,
the Heart Foundation. Just Cam Newton is the only one in double digits for him.
That's a rough week for Cody there, man.
It is. LeSean
There's
McCoy.
that
He's
Amari
so up and
Cooper
down.
again.
Oh yeah, Amari Cooper right there. Mike Evans. Oh my God.
Yeah. This is becoming a team that this is becoming a team when you look at it, you go, I hate these guys. You got like Larry Fitzgerald. LeSean is, he is very up and down. I agree. Man.
Very more down than up, more like this, compared to previous. But
do you remember when running backs used to dominate on Thursday nights, and now they just pass the ball like crazy? It's ridiculous. Man.
Yeah.
When are they going to get rid of that crap?
I know a lot of players are complaining about it. I have to see.
Everybody hates it. Everybody hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hates Thursday football.
Yeah. So congratulations, El Oso Verde. The Heart Foundation just only put up 48 points. He's on a 3-game skid, but he's still in it. He's still in the running for So keep at it.
Well, Heart Foundation, dude, he's in the running for having a team that is underperforming. He's up there with like Straight LA and myself. I mean, dude, this is a well-drafted team, man. I mean, it's a well put together team. It's just these dudes aren't doing anything, man. And it's like, what do you do? I mean, are you lame going in with Amari Cooper and Mike Evans, and Larry Fitzgerald? No. I mean, it's LeSean McCoy, DeMarco Murray. I mean, that's rock solid right there for 5 guys right in the middle, and I'm not even looking at the rest of his roster,
Yeah.
His quarterbacks are fine. It's just these dudes aren't showing up week to week, man. And so, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Yeah, Mike Evans suspended, and then Jameis Winston is going to be out for at least another 2 weeks, so that's going to hurt him too for a little bit.
Yeah, just sit him down for the rest of the year. I mean, God dang. I mean, what's his name? Fitzpatrick looks just as good. So,
yeah.
I mean, whatever.
All right, let's move on to Gang Green versus Wolfpack. Rob, what you got to
say?
I
thought you were gonna skip this game.
No, we got to at least talk about Wolfpack.
Well, here's about all I got to say on this is I knew it was going to be a terrible performance going in, and Matt Prater was my high scorer. That's pretty impressive. I apologize for not being able to put a better game out there against Wolfpack. Trust me, I want to beat Todd anytime I can, but there was nothing I could dig out of this.
You had a lot of players on buys.
Geez. But even that being said, the guys that I put out there were completely non-functional. Let me tell you where seasons go wrong. I had the choice. I basically knew. I think I was in the number 1 slot. We always count number 2 in our conference as being the number 1 draft slot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had Dez Bryant or Dak Prescott, and I went with Dez Bryant, and that's kind of just, like fuck up number 37 of my season. So there you go. Dak has put over 30 every week since, and it's just rolling. So Todd, good game, 119. I mean, milk and toast, man. It's just 119.
Yeah, who would have thought New Orleans defense stepped up? I mean, New Orleans isn't known for their defense, and people are already talking about these talking heads are talking about how New Orleans defense is looking good now all of a sudden. So, yeah, 34 points from their defense is pretty good.
Well, let me tell you, those talking heads are on the road to nowhere, as usual, with that kind of talk. But right now, New Orleans is burning down the house, baby. So once-in-a-lifetime chance to go ahead and, maybe make a run to the Super Bowl this year.
Yep. And let's go to our last game. Kelly Knights versus Discount Belichick.
Kelly Knights and Discount Belichick. Dude, any other year, here's the point of the damn podcast where I start to get angry. My season's dust, okay? Any other year, these 91 to 86 scores would be just completely unacceptable. But this has become the norm this year, Sam. I feel like I should have had some pre-written that I can, go on about for 5 minutes. I mean, but my God, how many more times are we going to have teams win with 82 points and 103? I mean, we're talking about 104, 103 games as being monumentally awesome, dude. I mean, it was just 2 years ago, the big day puts up 350, and now we're going, dude, I got up to 120. I kind of feel like I should have won this week, man. I mean, can you check the software to make sure it's scoring and everything right, dude? I mean, what the hell is going on, Sam?
Quarterbacks, man. Quarterbacks are going down. Quarterback plays bad. And that trickles down. Receivers, right? And then they put 8 in the box for the running backs. I mean, that's how it is. That's what I think it is, Rob.
You know what? The only thing I can come up with aside from that, I think defenses are adjusting and getting better finally, and you're in a transition again to where you're starting to see the running games come back into play a little bit, which would make my zero running back run this year in the draft all the more brilliant. But I mean, I think you're right about that. I also think you're just seeing, passes just go. Everybody's doing the Drew Brees thing now. They're going to 7 players on the field. You have no idea week to week who's going to score.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, dude, it's just every single week you look at these, the wide receiver position. You're right. It's just all single digits every week. And we're talking single digits, not always 9s. Oh, well, man, I only got 99 yards today. No, it's 2s, dude. God, I mean, I only got 24 yards out of freaking Julio Jones. I mean, come on, man. I love this game, but this is a frustrating year to be dealing with it, man, because like I said earlier, some of these teams should be doing way better than they are, man.
Mm-hmm. As I was saying to you before we started the podcast, there's no consistency. I mean, Bills are good one week and then they suck the next week and back and forth. Same thing for the Raiders. There's no consistencies between these mid-tiers. Let me just say mid-tier teams. I mean, of course you have the top-tier teams that are consistently good, but then the mid-tier teams, there's no consistency. That's what I think.
Dude, but who are the top-tier teams?
Okay, you got the Eagles, you got the Patriots.
Okay, first of all, the Patriots have lost to a couple games and have been challenged to a number of teams. They're clearly in the twilight of their dynasty, and the tears stream down my face. And does anybody really buy into the Eagles as being a serious threat this year?
Dude.
I mean, my son comes to me the other day and goes, dude, NFC champs, you get Eagles and Rams. I'm going, no effing way is it the Eagles and the Rams in the NFC championship game, man. Come on. Seattle will rise like a Hindenburg and to make it in there somehow, some way,
Yeah.
I mean, I do like Wentz, but I'm still not buying it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Alshon Jeffrey's your guy.
It's going to be,
I don't know, man.
You know what, I understand what you're saying, but you know what, it's going to be some team that squeaks by in the playoffs that we weren't expecting. That's what I'm thinking too,
Until they lose to some team that we're all sick to death of, like the Seattle Seahawks, So it's I mean, how many times every single year it's oh, dude, man, the Patriots, they're looking vulnerable this year, and all these teams come in and they immediately vomit on themselves,
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, oh, there's a threesome. Dude, what was it, 50 points they lost that game by? I mean, it's ridiculous, man. NFL's got a problem, bro.
Yeah, there's no consistency. Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in with us. For Rob, I'm Sam. Have a great week. Remember, put in your pickups tonight. Man, the waivers crazy this year, huh, Rob? There's a lot of activities on the waivers.
Everybody's trying to find somebody functional. You're right. You're like, God, man, can I get a guy that can put up double digits 2 weeks in a row for me?
And not be injured, please.
Oh no, and you get him, and they're like, "Oh, we got a phenom. Oh yeah, he's out."
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, I would like, before we go, there is some consistency. The San Francisco 49ers still awful.
Yes, still haven't won. So good luck everybody except for El Oso Verde. I play you this week, so good luck to everybody except him. So so thanks everybody.
Scotty. All right, brother. Have a good one. Thanks, Sam.